A 900-year-old skeleton found in ancient tree. After huge storm shocks, archaeologists. In May 2015, a powerful storm struck Collooney, a town in County Sligo, located on the northwest coast of Ireland, toppling a 215-year-old oak tree. After the storm subsided, as the locals began clearing the debris left behind, they were shocked to discover a human skeleton at the base of the ancient tree. They immediately notified the authorities, who came to investigate, suspecting a possible case of a murder with a hidden body from the past. The police later confirmed that it was an ancient set of human remains. The National Monuments Service of Ireland hired an archaeologist to excavate the bones and uncover what had occurred there. Archaeologist Linda Lynch and her colleagues from the private consultancy Sligo-Leitrim Archaeological Services conducted initial analyses, which revealed that the bones belonged to a young man, approximately 17 to 20 years old. The researchers also carbon dated the bones and found that the young man had died during the medieval period, sometime between 1030 and 1200 AD. What was shocking was that the young man's death appeared to have been the result of violent torture. Lynch found fractures on the ribs and hand bones, likely caused by a knife. It seemed the young man had endured severe torture before his death. The body had been buried intact, but when the tree was uprooted, the upper half of the skeleton got caught in the tree's roots, while the lower half remained in the ground. Archaeologist Marion Dowd, director of SLAS, said, "The entire skeleton was originally intact, but the upper portion was badly damaged by the tree roots. We can assume that he came from a local Gaelic family. Due to the Anglo-Norman Wars after 1169, this individual might have been a victim of a conflict or personal dispute." Researchers also noted that the young man had been buried according to official Christian burial rites. No artifacts were found with the skeleton. Dowd further explained that the area where the remains were discovered was rural, and by the 19th century, there was a church and cemetery nearby. However, no further traces of Gaelic people have been found, and the true story of what happened remains an unsolved mystery. As you can see, the ancient world is full of mystery, leaving behind perplexing questions, right? No matter how skilled we are, we can't always decipher it all. This is evident not only from this mysterious 900-year-old skeleton, but also from many other discoveries made by archaeologists before. So, what special discoveries have archaeologists made in recent years? Let's find out now. Perfectly preserved food in an ancient Chinese tomb. In 1959, archaeologists in Xinjiang, China, excavated an ancient tomb in Turpan and made some fascinating discoveries. Inside the tomb, the experts found dumplings that had been remarkably well preserved, despite having been buried underground for thousands of years. The most surprising thing was that these dumplings remained intact in shape and color, almost identical to the dumplings we see today. This was truly a surprising discovery, wasn't it? Dumplings are not a new food. They have been enjoyed for thousands of years in China, and they were particularly popular in the western regions. In addition to the dumplings, the archaeologists found many other types of pastries in the tomb, such as mooncakes, sweets, and some other desserts, indicating that the cuisine of that time was rich and diverse. According to experts, one of the key factors that helped preserve these foods so well is the climate in the Xinjiang region. With its hot weather and long periods of drought, these foods lost moisture quickly, which helped preserve them for millennia. This unique climate helped prevent the foods from decaying or changing over time. Additionally, based on the foods found in the tomb, experts believe that the tomb's occupant was likely someone from a wealthy class. People in ancient times often believed that when they passed away, they would continue to live a prosperous and abundant life in the afterlife. Therefore, they would bury their favorite items, including food, clothing, and valuables, in the tomb, hoping that the deceased would live as comfortably as they did during their lifetime. What do you think of this ancient Chinese custom? I find it quite fascinating, and this discovery not only helps us better understand ancient culinary culture, but also opens up interesting reflections on the beliefs and customs of people in the past. Strange fossils in the Sahara Desert. Fossils scattered across the planet are the remnants of life forms from ancient geological eras that have been buried and preserved within the Earth's crust. While fossils can be found in many parts of the world, the Sahara Desert is home to some of the oldest, largest, and most mysterious fossils ever discovered. These ancient remains provide valuable insight into the history of our planet and the diverse creatures that once roamed it, including humans. Among the first and most mysterious fossils discovered in the Sahara was that of a giant crocodile. In 2014, paleontologists unearthed the skeleton of one of the largest crocodiles ever found. Named Machimosaurus rex, this prehistoric monster was twice the size of any crocodile seen today. It weighed at least 6,600 pounds and measured around 32 feet long. The fossil was buried in Tunisia on the edge of the Sahara Desert. Machimosaurus rex was likely the top predator in the region, which was once a sea that separated Africa from Europe about 130 million years ago. Federico Fanti, from the University of Bologna, a member of the team that made the discovery, even described it. Its skull was as large as that of an adult human. Just the skull itself was over 5 feet long. It was a giant crocodile. It was so big and powerful that it was undoubtedly at the top of the food chain. The next discovery was of a mysterious 480-million-year-old creature. This creature, discovered in the 1850s, brought with it many mysteries at the time, but those mysteries were finally resolved in early 2019 when highly detailed fossils were uncovered in Morocco. These fossils allowed paleontologists to identify the strange creature. Known as stylophorans, these life forms resembled decorative drawings on walls with long arms extending outward. Previously, scientists were unsure whether these creatures even fit within the animal kingdom's evolutionary tree. However, new research revealed that they were distant relatives of animals such as starfish, sea lilies, sea urchins, feather stars, and sea cucumbers. Although these unbelievable fossils were excavated on the edge of the Sahara Desert in 2014, researchers did not realize that some of the 450 specimens uncovered included soft tissue that had been preserved. This discovery put an end to a 150-year debate about where these strange fossils belonged on the Tree of Life. Next came the discovery of a new pterosaur species and an unknown sauropod. Finding a new dinosaur species is rare, but discovering 2 new species on one expedition is the dream of any paleontologist. In 2008, however, a team of paleontologists made that dream come true when they uncovered a new pterosaur and an unknown sauropod in the Sahara Desert. The pterosaur was identified by a large piece of its beak, while the sauropod was represented by a bone measuring over 3 feet long, indicating a herbivorous creature that was nearly 66 feet long. This extinct giant lived nearly 100 million years ago. Pterosaur fossils are particularly rare because their bones are light and fragile, optimized for flight, making them rarely found in well-preserved states. Nizar Ibrahim, a graduate student from the University of Dublin who led the expedition, declared, "Most pterosaur discoveries are just fragments of teeth and bones, so finding most of the beak was incredible, and it was enough to say we had a new species." Finally, there was the discovery of the oldest fossil of Homo sapiens. This discovery was made by miners in Morocco when they unearthed several skull fragments at a site called Jebel Irhoud in 1961. Additional bones were found in later excavations, along with flint tools and charcoal, indicating the use of fire. Researchers initially estimated the bones to be about 40,000 years old, until a paleontologist named Jean-Jacques Hublin examined a jawbone in the 1980s. While the teeth resembled those of modern humans, the shape of the jaw appeared more primitive. Using a method called thermoluminescence dating, researchers determined that the jawbone was around 300,000 years old and belonged to Homo sapiens. However, the discovery sparked controversy as anthropologists are still debating the exact physical traits that distinguish modern humans from their ancestors. The oldest widely recognized fossil of Homo sapiens was about 200,000 years old, so this new discovery pushed the emergence of our species back by 100,000 years. Unique treasure in Poland. In the small village of Bartosze, Poland, in January 2025, the son of a local farmer accidentally discovered a 2,500-year-old treasure while clearing a field to allow livestock better access to water. It was a broken copper necklace. Recognizing that the necklace might be an ancient artifact, the farmer alerted local authorities for experts to investigate. After careful examination, experts confirmed that it was indeed a necklace dating back about 2,500 years. This was the only necklace found in the area from that historical period. According to experts, around 2,500 years ago, the world was transitioning from the Bronze Age to the Iron Age. The necklace was made of copper and decorated with circular double groove patterns. Based on the dating of the necklace and historical records from this era, Researchers suggest that this artifact may have belonged to someone from the Hallstatt culture. However, some experts believe the necklace could also have belonged to people from the Kurgan culture. A relic carrying the mysterious stories of people from 2,500 years ago is fascinating, isn't it? But perhaps the mysteries behind it will intrigue you even more, as experts at the Archaeological Institute of Nicholas Copernicus University in Torun are still studying the necklace to uncover its hidden secrets. Once the analysis is complete, the necklace will be transferred to a museum for display, allowing history enthusiasts like you and me to admire and connect with a part of humanity's glorious past. Surely every time we look at this necklace, we will see not just an ancient artifact, but a marvelous story concealed within it. And who knows, this could just be the beginning of a journey to explore many more historical secrets. Strange tree, growing from the body of a missing man, found 40 years later. In September 2018, the UK's Mirror reported a strange and mysterious story involving the remains of a Turkish man named Ahmet Hergun, who had been missing for 40 years. The remarkable part of the story is that his body was not discovered through traditional search methods, but through a surprising clue: a fig tree growing from his stomach. The story began in 1974, when conflict erupted between Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots. Ahmet Hergun was one of the victims of this conflict. He and 2 others were captured and taken to a remote cave in Cyprus, where they were executed by explosives. The explosion was so powerful that it created a hole in the cave wall. However, after his tragic death, no one knew the fate of Hergun's remains, and his family lived with the pain of his unexplained disappearance. What's even more strange is that in 2011, a botanist discovered a fig tree growing in the cave where Hergun was killed. The fig tree was not a common species in the area, which intrigued the researcher. He decided to dig around the tree's base and accidentally uncovered a human skeleton. This discovery was immediately reported to the police, and during subsequent excavations, investigators found a total of 3 sets of remains. DNA testing confirmed that one of the skeletons belonged to Ahmet Hergun, the man missing for 4 decades. At the time, his 87-year-old sister, Munur Herguner, was deeply moved as she recalled, "We used to live in a village of 4,000 people, half Greek Cypriot and half Turkish Cypriot. In 1974, the conflict broke out. Ahmet joined the Turkish Resistance Organization. On June 10, 1974, the Greeks took him. My family searched for him for years, but in vain." She also believed that the fig tree was a sign that helped the family locate her brother's body. However, this story faced opposition from several organizations, including the International Committee of the Disappeared. According to Cyprus Mail, the fig tree did not grow from anyone's stomach, but simply grew in the cave near where the remains were found. Nevertheless, the incident sparked significant interest within the scientific community. Some researchers suggested that, in theory, a seed could sprout from a human corpse, particularly when the seed comes into contact with the nutrients released during decomposition. Professor Jay Noller, a soil and crop expert, affirmed, "Seeds can sprout from animal corpses, and I can easily imagine them sprouting from a human body." He explained that the tree could grow not just from the stomach, but also from other parts of the body, such as the small or large intestines. Even if the seed was in the deceased's pocket or near the burial site, the tree could still absorb nutrients from the decomposing body to grow. This is not the first time a tree has been found growing from a human body. In 2015, researchers in Ireland discovered a medieval skeleton intertwined with the roots of an uprooted oak tree. This discovery clearly showed that life can spring forth from the decomposition of a corpse. The story of the fig tree growing from Ahmet Hergun's stomach is not only a mysterious legend, but also offers a new perspective on the connection between life and death, humanity and nature. In a world full of mysteries, stories like this will likely continue to inspire those who seek the truth hidden beneath the surface. The Alien Graveyard. Deep in the forest near Kigali, Rwanda, in Central Africa, archaeologists have discovered a mysterious ancient grave containing unsolved riddles. The skeletons found in this grave are strangely shaped, clearly different from modern humans, leading many to ask, could these be the remains of beings from outer space? Initial reports suggest that these skeletons are around 500 years old, and they bear no resemblance to any known ancient human groups. What is particularly odd is that despite being located in a vast area, there is no evidence suggesting that this was once a human settlement. Furthermore, among the shared graves, about 200 skeletons were found remarkably well preserved and had not decayed, leading many scientists to believe they might be extraterrestrial beings who died on Earth. One theory proposes that these beings may have perished from viruses they had never encountered. However, no traces of a spacecraft or debris have been found nearby, making the mystery even deeper. This is not the first time archaeologists have uncovered unusual skeletons. In the summer of 1937, a Chinese research team led by Professor Chi Pute discovered caves in the Bayan Kara Ula Mountains. Inside these caves, they found skeletons with unusually large heads and strange bodies. Nearby, they found 176 stone tablets, each with a hole in the middle and inscribed with mysterious symbols. Additionally, the cave walls were covered with drawings of the sun, moon, and stars, as well as elongated dots. Experts spent 2 decades deciphering the ancient writings in the Bayan Kara Ula caves. Eventually, Professor Zoom Umchu from Peking University decoded many of the symbols and explained that they described an event about 12,000 years ago when a celestial object fell in this area. In another instance, a Turkish minority person discovered a bizarre mummified body measuring only 4 feet tall with pale green skin, transparent wings protruding from the shoulders, and eyes 3 times the size of human eyes, resembling those of a snake. Despite the many differences, the body shape of this entity still resembled that of a human. Not long ago, archaeologists also discovered a mummy in an ancient Egyptian tomb that was over 8 feet tall, with no nose, ears, or tongue, and a wide mouth. Surrounding this mummy were many strange objects. Unlike the typical burial items of ancient Egyptian culture, including discs with strange writing, metallic clothing, and shoes made of a material similar to plastic, some of the stone tablets also featured images of stars and planets, suggesting a possible connection to space. Researchers propose that, beyond the alien theory, other theories exist, such as these beings being a subspecies of humans, possibly giants or dwarfs, who once lived alongside us but went extinct for unknown reasons. With these enigmatic and difficult-to-explain discoveries, the question of the origin of the beings in these graves remains unanswered. Are they extraterrestrial beings who arrived on Earth long ago, or are they an ancient human branch that vanished? It is difficult to say, but these findings will likely continue to fuel scientific curiosity and debate, opening a door to humanity's unexplored mysteries. The 2,200-year-old Red Princess's remains. Have you ever thought that in the past, ancient people used harmful or even dangerous materials to create special cultural marks? Probably not, right? But recently, a shocking discovery was made in China when archaeologists uncovered an ancient tomb belonging to a woman who lived around 2,200 years ago. What surprised everyone was not just the age of the remains, but also a very unusual detail. The woman's teeth were dyed with a highly toxic red mineral. So, what's the story behind this discovery? The tomb was found in a cemetery located in Turpan, a city in the Xinjiang region of northwestern China. This area was home to the Gushi people, a nomadic group with a unique lifestyle that played an important role in the Silk Road, the legendary trade route linking Eastern and Western civilizations. The tomb is truly a historical treasure, revealing many interesting secrets about a culture that existed over 2,000 years ago. What particularly astonished scientists was the discovery of cinnabar, an extremely toxic red mineral used to dye the woman's teeth. Qian Wang, the lead author of the study, shared that this is the first and only known case in the world of cinnabar being used to dye teeth in ancient times. Indeed, no one could have imagined that such a toxic substance would be used for beauty or as a symbol in ancient society. Researchers confirmed that this woman died between the ages of 20 and 25, and her remains showed traces of cinnabar pigment on her teeth. To better understand the composition of this pigment, scientists used spectral analysis and discovered that the red pigment was a combination of cinnabar and animal protein, possibly egg yolk or egg white. This proves that she deliberately painted her teeth rather than it being a random occurrence. With these discoveries, this woman has been called the Red Princess of the Silk Road, a name that evokes the Red Queen of the Maya civilization, whose remains were also covered in cinnabar powder. However, the key difference here is the use of cinnabar to dye teeth, something never before seen in ancient cultures. So, why was such a strange ritual used? Although the exact reason remains a mystery, researchers have proposed a few hypotheses. First, it could have served an aesthetic purpose, or it might have been a sign of social class distinction. There is even a possibility that cinnabar was used as part of religious rituals or practices by ancient shamans. Whatever the true story behind it is, these discoveries will certainly continue to raise fascinating questions about ancient cultures and how people of that time viewed and utilized the natural materials around them. And perhaps every time we encounter these remains, we not only see a relic, but also a part of history's essence, a part of the untold story of the people who lived and left their mark on the great journey of humankind. Dear friends, thus the mystery of the 2,200-year-old Red Princess's remains has closed our journey of discovery for today. Which discovery impressed you the most? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss other exciting discoveries. For now, goodbye and see you again soon.